After my younger sister went abroad, I married the mafia don in her place. 5 years after we married, we became each other's greatest enemies. He hated me for driving my sister away and scheming my way into becoming his wife. I hated him for always treating me as a stand-in, never once acknowledging me in front of the world. My lack of status brought humiliation to my vain parents, and from that moment on, their love for me turned into hatred. In the end, he and my parents left me behind on a snowy mountain while celebrating Christmas with my sister. In the bitter cold, I died together with the child I never got to meet. Meanwhile, my sister basked in everyone's love and had the happiest Christmas of her life. When I opened my eyes again, I had returned to the day my sister returned from abroad. This time, I would not beg Gideon or my parents to love me ever again. Ms. Quinn, congratulations. You're 3 months pregnant. As I sat across from the family doctor, not a flicker of emotion crossed my face. Not even a hint of joy. The doctor, who was clearly excited, reached for the phone to call Gideon Wade, but I took it straight from his hand. There's no need to do so. The nurses exchanged confused looks, not understanding what I meant. With my status as the Don's wife, this child would be the family's glory. They did not understand why I wanted to keep my pregnancy hidden. They had no idea that if anyone found out, this child would die with me, just like in my past life. In my previous life, Gideon and my parents took my younger sister, who had just returned from abroad, to the mountains to celebrate Christmas. I followed behind them quietly, watching them laugh and enjoy the holiday. When the weather turned bad, Gideon called a helicopter to take everyone home. However, even after it landed, not one of them remembered that I was still up there. I froze to death on that mountain, together with the unborn child in my belly. Fortunately, I was reborn and returned to the very day I found out I was pregnant, which was also the very day my sister came back home. The sister my family adored, and the woman my husband preferred had returned. I walked past the nurses and the doctor's stunned faces and headed home. As usual, I typed in the passcode to the front gate, but no matter how many times I tried, it was incorrect. All at once, it hit me. This was the very same scene that had played out on this day in my previous life. After my younger sister came back, everything in this house changed to suit her. Even the passcode was changed to her birthday. I thought for a moment, then entered 0604. The door opened smoothly. I gave a bitter smile and was about to step inside when a thick stack of papers hit me right in the face. Sign the divorce papers. My mother's voice was ice cold. I calmly wiped the blood from my forehead, then held out my hand. Give me a pen. That was all it took to silence the room. My sister was the first to respond. She sneered. That was fast. Evelyn, don't you dare try anything sneaky. My father let out a cold laugh. Well, she knows what she's doing. If Bella hadn't gone abroad, do you really think she would have become the Don's wife? The moment Gideon heard Bella was coming back, he sent a private jet and a dozen bodyguards to bring her home. Evelyn is being cooperative because she's probably just trying to save herself some dignity. After all, choosing to leave is better than getting thrown out. Bella let out a little gasp, covering her mouth as though something had just dawned on her. Then, she clung to our father's arm. Dad, you're so smart. I didn't even think of that. My parents laughed. They doted on her, brushing her nose as their eyes filled with affection. I stood aside like an outsider in my own home. Bella shot me a smug look, but I ignored her. Instead, I picked up the papers from the floor and signed my name without hesitation. Her smile faltered for a second. She snatched the papers from my hands. You really are decisive, huh? Of course. I would not make the same mistake again. Without another word, I turned to head upstairs. However, Bella blocked my path and pointed at the blank space on the documents. Get Gideon's signature for me. I'm not going to bring it up myself. Wouldn't want him to think